Hi guys, so till now we have discussed about the complex numbers and the equality of complex numbers along with example. So now we are going to talk about the addition of complex numbers. So suppose we have two complex numbers. So if z1 is a complex number, that is equals to a1 plus iota b1, and z2 equals to a2 plus iota b2, then we are talking about the addition, that is z1 plus z2. How we are going to add these two complex numbers? Simply we'll add the real parts and the imaginary parts. This is b1 a1 plus a2 plus iota b1 plus b2. So some little note points are there. So if in a question it is given that z is purely real, then that means, if it is purely real, then that simply means that the imaginary part of z is 0, right? Also, if z is purely imaginary, then real part will be 0, right? This is simply understandable, but still I wanted to mention these points in the note. There is one more point. If we have 0 plus 0 iota, then what we will call it? Purely real or purely imaginary? It is purely real and purely imaginary. It is both purely real also and purely imaginary also, right? Both the statements are true. So these three statements are regarding the addition of complex numbers. That is, first is what? If we are having two complex numbers, that is z1 and z2, if we want to add them, then we have to simply add their real parts and imaginary parts. If in a question it is given that z is purely real, then that means the imaginary part will be 0. If z is purely imaginary, then real part will be equal to 0. If we are having 0 plus 0 iota, then what we will call it? It will be purely real as well as purely imaginary. So this is all about the addition of complex numbers. Now we are going to talk a bit about the properties of addition, that is properties like commutative, associative, additive, inverse. What are these things? Now we are going to discuss a bit about them. So talking about the properties, the first property is that addition of two complex numbers is commutative, that their addition is commutative. That means what? z1 plus z2 will be equal to z2 plus z1, right? That will be the property of commutative. Now second is addition is also associative. That means what? First you are going to add z1 and z2, and then after you will add z3, or simply if you are adding z2 and z3 first and then you are adding z1 to it, both will give same results, right? This is associative property. Now existence of additive inverse. What it means? For any complex numbers, like if we have a complex number z is equals to a plus iota b, there exists minus z, that will be equal to minus a plus iota of minus b, right? Such that if you are going to add z and minus z, you will get 0. So till now we are having these three properties, right? So what are these three properties? First is addition is commutative. Commutative means whether you are adding z1 to z2 or z2 to z1, you will get the same results. Second is addition is associative, that is first you are adding z1 and z2, then after getting the result you are adding z3 to it, or first you are adding z2 and z3, then after getting the result you are adding z1, you will get the same results. Next is existence of additive inverse, that is if we are having any complex number, that is z is equals to a plus iota b, there exists minus z. So for minus z, we are having minus sign with the real part also and minus sign with the imaginary part also, such that if we are going to add z and minus z, we will get 0, right? So there exists additive inverse for complex number z, right? So this is all about the properties of addition. In the next video we will discuss about the subtraction of complex number, multiplication of complex number, along with the properties of multiplication like commutative, associative and distributive, and then after we will go for the other topics. So till now if you have any doubts, I'll be more than happy to answer them all. So comment down below if you have any comments or any suggestions. So far that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.